Oh,
Too much.
Oh, no. Oh, yes. Oh, what's wrong? Oh, my God.
We're gonna film a podcast.
It's time.
It's time.
It's time.
Welcome. Oh shit. Jess.
Welcome back. Welcome back to the Split Shift podcast, where we cut through the bullshit and the noise of the fitness industry. My name is Daniel.
My name is Jamie, and today we're gonna film a podcast for you.
New episode.
And the podcast is going to be about health and fitness. How health and fitness is good for you. You should be fit. You should be healthy. It's going to make your life a lot better. We're going to talk about a bunch of shit for 2 minutes each.
Yeah.
Speed run time.
Speed run, baby. Let's go.
You know why? Because you got fucking shit to do. We got places to be. And you got education to. Danny's hungry.
Fucking starving.
And I'm 30.
Happy birthday to you.
Those fucking big ass balloons.
Happy birthday. Bring them over.
Where the fuck are you going to put it? They're so big.
Happy birthday to Jamie. Hang on.
Can I be 3 years
No
old?
idea what's going on. Happy birthday to you.
Is that backwards 3?
Hooray. No, you bit. Hooray. You bit. Hooray.
Right.
Kiss the nearest person.
Shit. Anyway.
All right, that was that.
Cool.
So that's about half the episode done
So
already.
legally, I'm old as fuck. So
Big 3-0, man.
hopefully by 31, we'll finish this game of fucking chess. It's been 9 episodes now.
Yeah.
9 episodes with
That's 9 weeks.
very
No,
little progress.
It's 9 weeks of episodes. Nice. It's 9 weeks of episodes, but it's actually because we had a couple of weeks where Jamie was away and we missed a couple. So it's been more like 3 months.
It's
And we're
been like
still-
3 fucking years.
Yeah.
I don't think have we ever finished a game of chess? Even
Yeah,
that first
you
season?
beat me that one time. As we speed.
Oh, I still got a number on the board.
Yeah, it's
Anyway,
1-0.
2 minutes. What was the fucking thing again? 2 minutes, and we are talking about. The question is, if we could only teach and use one practice or tool for training or exercise, nutrition or mindset, what would it be? So I'm going to shoot the first cue to Danny, which is going to be very similar to what I just said. If you could only use, capital only, teach and use one practice or tool for training and exercise, what would it be? It's 2 minutes on the clock.
I'm not going to lie. I took the last speed run advice and I didn't write anything. So I'm kind of shitting myself because I actually have no idea what to say.
It's the best way to do it.
It's probably about 35 different things. Probably 30 things on my mind right now I could say. Like that.
So,
So,
it's the dementia.
fuck, if I could, I'm 20 seconds in. No,
I'm usually done by 20
I
seconds.
know. If I was to do, okay, so this is going to be a little bit different than directly training, because I feel like a lot of people know how to train. People that don't know how to train, obviously programming, all that type of stuff, get a coach. But a lot of the time, I feel that it impacts training the most is too much friction. Now I'm going to say that. So my say is that if I could practice one thing for training is reduce as much friction as possible. And what's friction is the stuff that happens before training, it's the stuff that happens during training, and the stuff happens probably not so much after training because you're done, but it's the things that's beforehand. It's the things beforehand that actually deters people from training. We create this. We create this.
Good.
Thanks, man. We create this. This idea in our head that training is this massive thing because there's so many steps that we got to do to get there, to get to the gym or do the workout. We're going to do a 2-hour workout and stuff like that, but it doesn't need to really be like that. And how do we do this is by making it feel easy and seamless. So an example I would use is have your gym bag ready in the car. So as you go from work, instead of coming home, just go straight to the gym. For your workout itself, avoid being on this. Time your rest period, stuff like that, so you can get in, get out. Because in reality, you can actually get a good workout done within 45 minutes. And the idea that you need to train, an hour and a half, 2 hours, it's unrealistic for most people. So if it was anything, I'd say was one thing is make it easy as possible, reduce your friction before training and during a training, especially.
Oh, on the fucking banger.
You like that?
Nice. Friction is bad. Depending on the scenario,
You want to be lubed up.
you don't want too much, but you can't have too much lube either. If you have too much lube, you're not going to feel anything, which is fact. Like for example, couple of years ago, when I was 28, I was hanging out with one of my mates and we had way too much lube. And you were there, remember?
Yeah, but like,
Was that weird orgy?
but like that was just with the boys, right?
Yeah, it was only one. It was like three of us. So anyway, we had way too much lube, and it was fucking like it's like a slippery slide, and we were slipping everywhere. You couldn't really get any grip on anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, exactly what Danny said.
A greasy hot dog.
Friction is not good
don't like that.
until it's really good.
Sure. Ask the same question.
Yeah, can you ask?
Same goes to you, man. Training and exercise. What is the one thing you would practice, teach? Time is on.
Well, neither of us really did like a training specific one, which I think is kind of cool. Because what I'm going to say is make a non-negotiable. If I could do one fucking practice that I think will benefit myself the most and people in general, daily fucking movement. Have a non-negotiable of I exercise or move my body every fucking day, 7 days a week. Like that's just what I do. A lot of time, and fucking you can either attest to this or disagree. When clients and people I work with have a goal of, say, getting a walk in or training or whatever, doing something, say, 3 days a week, often it will be pushed to the end of the week and then they miss the Friday and then they've got to say, oh, I've got to get double on Saturday, and then they fucking miss one, obviously, and then they start again next week. Whereas if you have a target of and a standard for yourself where I move my body every fucking day, if it's a walk, if it's just like fucking doing yoga, if it's Pilates or lifting weights, you know, at some point in that day, I'm getting in that health and fitness room and I'm moving my body. I'm doing some form of exercise. That could be going to the gym and doing your training. That could be, like I say, going out for your walk. It doesn't matter what it is, but a non-negotiable being doing something for my health and fitness, moving my fucking body. Because that's we're designed for that shit, which is very similar to what you were saying around reducing friction. Because there's no friction the only decision you have to make is what form of exercise I'm going to do that day. Not do I exercise or do I not exercise. It's like, what do I do? Am I going to go to the gym or am I just going to go for a walk? I know I've got to get those 3 gym sessions in, but you know, when I get it, that's fine as long as I'm getting some form of exercise. And as you build that up, you start getting that routine. Hang on for time, 10 seconds. Yeah, daily movement, move your fucking body. That would be my tool of practice. If I had to choose one, that would be the one for sure. Standard, healthy living. Live, laugh, love.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. No,
Yeah.
very true. Very true. Exactly what you said. It definitely can be like that, whether if it's not as a set obligation or it's set as something that's like set non-negotiable. 100% I've seen it in the past with clients. They'll just, shift it back. Even myself at certain stages of my life too, when I was just pushed to the wayside and it was like, oh, this is a task that I just got to tick off, rather than just be like, oh, this is just who I am. This is
Yeah,
what
exactly.
I do.
It's what I do.
I like there is that standard of just move every day. What happens when it rains?
Rains, get a fucking umbrella, you little bitch.
What happens with? What if it's like an earthquake?
If it's an earthquake, you fucking get your runners on. You're going for jumping. You're gonna go do some fucking
plyometrics.
flip out shit. Exactly. See how high you can jump off that crater that's. Also, we don't get fucking earthquakes. I was talking. Well, there's this mad Netflix documentary called Twisters. Have you seen it?
No.
It's like #1 on Netflix right now. Hectic. Like it's just about this massive tornado that runs through the States. Totally flattens this city. And I'm just like, well, how fucking lucky are we that we don't have to deal with that shit?
No,
We literally deal with nothing. Barely get floods, barely get there's no earthquakes, tsunamis. We don't do anything. So you've got no fucking excuse to not get your walk in, realistically.
True. It's like what we get is we get a hurricane and we just get a bunch of fucking people just going up on a 10-foot swell in Australia.
Literally.
That's literally, if you're watching, if you're in Australia, which I'm assuming everyone is, because we're not Mr. Worldwide just yet.
Not yet.
But we will. How good was that? Just seeing heaps of people freaking out all around the world about this hurricane that we had in Australia. And everyone just fucking bombing the surf.
Literally. Even then, that's just in Queensland.
Yeah.
Fucking.
What a good time anyway.
Yeah. But yeah.
I'll watch it. I'll watch Twister. I haven't seen it.
Yeah. It's very, very intense. Very hectic. Highly recommend. All right. Shoot it, brother. What have we got?
I've got another one for you, my friend. My next one was same question, but about nutrition. Did I say nutrition?
Nutrition.
Nutrition.
Eating.
Yes. Nutrition and eating. one practice, one thing. You have to boil it down to one thing, man. One thing.
Yep.
It's all on the line.
Yeah.
You're on the tightrope.
I love it. I love a tight rope. All right. If I had to say one or use one tool or practice for nutrition or eating, that's going to benefit people the most, I feel, or that's made the most impact with myself and clients, I would say track your food before you eat the thing, or even write it down before you eat it. Having some level of consciousness. Not only are you going to learn about what's in the food that you're about to eat, so it's got that educational benefit, which is the best thing about tracking. Yes, you're going to hit some targets around calories, protein, all that sort of shit. You learn how to structure a day. That's great. You know, it's a great fucking tool, but it's about eliminating that reflex eat cycle that people find themselves in. And the best way I've noticed to do that is just by tracking the food before you fucking eat it. So not at the end of the day, when you've already eaten the whole day, you're like, oh, what's doing? Oh, I forget to track. Oh, I'll track it later. And then you get to Thursday, you haven't tracked Tuesday yet. Track it before you eat the thing. So then you also do not feel restricted whatsoever. If you want those fucking Tim Tams, you can have the Tim Tams. But as long as you're writing that shit down, it's my standard. I can eat whatever I want. I just need to write it down first, even if it's in your notes on your phone. People that I've worked with have started making much better decisions about what they're going to eat. They're more conscious of what they're going to eat just by writing the thing down first, changing nothing else. I've given them 0 targets, no calorie targets, no protein targets yet. Just the act and practice of being aware of what you're going to do before you do it. People just live life with these. Well, we talk about the blinders all the time. They live life with these blinders on. They just focus on the task at hand. They focus on their work. They focus on what they're doing during the day. And they're just mindlessly fucking eating. If you can just break that cycle by simply writing the thing down, bringing some awareness to that, it has massive benefits. So if you have not done that yet, or if you're tracking, say, at the end of the week for the whole week that's already been done, try just bringing that tracking forward a little bit and track it just before you eat it.
Boys.
That was right in the fucking button, wasn't it?
It's right on the kiss.
Yeah.
Shit. Nice work.
Thanks, brother.
Mate. Could not agree more. Could not agree more.
Cool.
We love tracking. Pro tracker, righty. That's all I got.
It's like professional
Professional tracker. No, I'm a professional sailor now, though.
Sailor?
Yeah, I went sailing on the weekend.
Nice.
I found out, how's this? I don't know why I'm saying on the podcast. I found out on this day, this episode got that was going to come out, that we were filming. The day I went sailing on the weekend, we ended up we did 2 races. I didn't know we were racing until
It was a race?
It was racing.
Yeah,
it was
right.
2 races. Didn't know we were racing until I got there. We came first in both of them.
What the fuck?
We came fucking first. We got the best time out of everyone there.
Who were you racing?
I don't know.
Well, fucking dude in a canoe. Like, there's this guy rowing a boat, just fishing. It was just us. Guys like fucking.
I was dehydrated. I was delusional, so I was probably racing against myself. I don't really remember. That was a joke. No, it was a lot of people. Turns out we won. Both of them.
Wait, what? We got to talk about this after this.
Yeah.
Because I need a little bit of
I'll
an update.
tell you about the sailing saga. It's called the Sail Saga. Next episode. So if you listen to that, you're like, fuck, I want to know what's happening. You have to wait till the next episode.
That is very interesting. I have not heard about this. Right, Darnell, if you could use one tool of practice and only one tool of practice to improve your nutrition or a client's nutrition, what would it be?
Love this one. I love it. I fully agree with tracking. That's the first thing that kind of came to my mind too, because exactly what you said, it pictures all the things that understands the value of food and how you can be able to manage it in your life. If I was to say, when you've utilized the tool, you've utilized that, its usefulness for that, or even, if you want to have a holistic way of how we want to eat. I personally am a massive, big preacher of 80-20. 80% whole foods, 20% soul foods. Obviously, you guys are avid Split Shift podcast listeners. We always talk about balance. We talk about minimizing any sort of restriction or demonization of foods. However, also in saying that it's not all about just like, yeah, you can eat all the Tim Tams and all that, like you can eat all of that. Like you can do that, don't get me wrong. But also good quality and nutritious foods is so important for us, for our micronutrients, for our body, for our energy, for our digestive health and all that type of stuff. And even though like you guys can absolutely have the right to eat all the foods you want, again, in saying that, If we at least live by a guide, we'll say, okay, if I can still at least the bulk of my foods can be 80%, like whole foods, things that I need, the 20% can be what the fuck you want. You can have all that awesome stuff that we speak about in the past. That's that soul food aspect, so it doesn't feel like you're missing out and it all feels realistic. A way, particularly I like to do this, I do this with me and my partner, we make this as almost like a non-negotiable in itself. We deliberately fill in what days are we going to do that 20%. Every Friday night, we always have takeaway. We always have some sort of indulgence to some degree, but we know ahead, I'm like, that's our time. So so we set things like that. We say, if you want to do this for future, we say, how do I approach this? Allow to say, like, I'm going to give myself permission to allow it on this day, but then use like tracking or use something else to allow that to be with it, work in your plan and in your goals. So kind of works on top of what Jimbo was saying, plan ahead with it. But if we were to go away to, approach it for life, 80-20 never fails, in my opinion.
You need that 20%. You need that bit of indulgence so you can feel like you're actually living your life, We always talk about that fucking getting out of that all or nothing mindset, and you guys know the drill.
Yeah.
You guys know the drill. It's essential. If you want to do this long term, you need to be able to enjoy the things you want to enjoy. It's all about enjoyment. It's all about getting some. This is strong water, man. Like, I'm having straight water right now.
This is actually just vodka.
Speaking of drunk, I was definitely drunk before that group class last night.
Yeah,
they made me do
2 shots.
2 shots of whiskey when I was dehydrated after a 30 fucking kilometer run. And I was definitely at least a little bit tipsy. And then I took this group class and I think they knew. I don't know if I was paranoid, but I'm like, I think these people know I'm drunk.
It's probably the best class. So we're like, J-Mo. J-Mo?
Yeah, that'll do. That'll do. That's what Ned calls me.
J-Mo, yeah. Also, yeah.
Danny loves drinking Ned's milk.
Ned's milk tastes so good.
Anyway, I'm asking you the last one.
Shit.
Danny,
Jimbo.
if you could only teach and use one practice or tool for mindset, what would it be? I had to fucking get the note out because I'm like, I fucked up the question last time.
Yeah, me too. Fucked up. Fuck, that is a hard one. Again, this mindset is by far the most important thing when it comes to everything that we preach about, right? We're very mindset based, and as coaches, we talk about that. To boil it down to one thing is so fucking hard because there's so many things.
That's why it's fun.
And it's why it's extra fun. And if I was to boil it down, I want to educate you guys on what's called is be anti-fragile. Be anti-fragility. So anti-fragile is, I'm going to say on the flip side of the coin, we know what resilience is. We know when we're just pushing through, we get it done, and I'm just going to stay resilient, I'm just going to keep moving forward. You got this. When sometimes they can just wear us down, right? When we're thinking of what's known as anti-fragile is actually allowing us to embrace the adversity. Now, what does this actually do for us? And why do I preach this a lot with my clients. It's like, when shit hits the fan, which 100% will, it could be a shit day of work. It could be, your boss rolling up the wall. There's family issues at home or whatever it may be. Things will get in the way of your goals and your journey, and there's going to be hiccups, and there's going to be slump periods, and there's going to be plateaus, and these things are so normal because it's never going to be like this. But it's better to have the expectation and set that's going to happen, and embrace it. Because what anti-fragility does, what we take on, makes us essentially stronger. So it's actually what they use it in principles for how to describe skyscrapers that are anti-fragile, which is more earthquake-proof. Second time we said that now, it's weird. And we can actually take those principles as well for us to say, okay, when shit hits the fan, take it on. It happens. We're human. How can we learn from this the next time? So it works. It correlates really well following after how to, of learning through our experiences. So move forward. So resilience is cool, but be anti-fragile. I was really hoping I would at the same time.
Almost super awkward. I reckon one more second. Nice.
Oh, man.
Danny Blaz has a weird thing for earthquakes today, apparently.
I know. That's the second time.
When the fuck have you ever spoken about it? I've never heard the word earthquake come out of your mouth before.
I've never experienced an earthquake.
You brought it up out of nowhere, too. I'm talking about doing daily movement, going for a walk. You're like, but what if it earthquakes? What the fuck?
I don't know.
It's hell.
My brain just...
What is going on?
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's like the delayed caffeine hit, or maybe I have
What
this fucking,
about an earthquake?
I have this fetish for earthquakes apparently that I didn't realize I had.
Skyscrapers fucking being earthquake resistant.
But the funny thing is that when I was learning about antifragility, is they use it in principles for how to fucking make things earthquake proof. That's why it's so much more awkward.
There's buildings that do all the wobbly.
Yeah,
shit in Japan.
it's
That's
an architectural thing where they
architectural thing. Earthquake. Anyway.
Should I ask you the same question?
Can you ask me the same question, man? So it's not awkward anymore.
Question about mindset, the same one that we said before.
Oh, yes.
Mindset, what are you going to do? 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Fuck.
This kind of does follow off what you said a little bit, actually, which is funny. Because I thought I literally chose this because I'm like, this will be definitely not what you say, but apparently we're the fucking same person. I almost wore the same shirt today. Talking about fragility and what Danny was saying around shit's gonna hit the fucking fan. The majority of the time that you fuck up or go off plan or whatever you want to do or whatever you want to call it, it's because of shit, maybe even external factors that are going on in your life that are causing you stress. So I would say if I could choose one thing only for you to work on, or even me to work on, to better manage this area and improve my results, be very, very aware of how you manage stress. So I feel like the majority of, like I said, issues and things that people don't plan for are due to a stressful experience, or that stress in their mind, or that tension, or that overwhelm. Learn to manage that adequately and manage that properly so that it doesn't affect your results, because that's not going fucking anywhere. That stress, that feeling of overwhelm, that's not going anywhere. You're not going to be able to control what happens at work all the time. You're not going to be able to control what happens with your partner. You're not going to be able to control how your kids act necessarily, but you can control how you react to it. So the majority of people will react to stress by binge eating food, or by, laying on the couch instead of going to the gym, or, swearing at their fucking trainer and calling them a C word, which never happens to me every second hour of every day.
They must say cool.
Yeah, they say you're really cool. But how you manage stress is going to be key to if you can get results long term also. So managing stress is number one. You can use a couple of practices for this. So first of all, write down the things in your day that are actually causing you that stress. So you're actually having that self-awareness about the thing. And then how are you,
Keep going.
How are you reacting to that in real time? I did fuck around at the start, I guess. How are you reacting to that in real time? So are you doing those things? Are you binge eating? What sort of foods are coming up in your head? And then how can we replace that with a different practice? Instead of that, so as soon as you feel that thing, maybe just go for a 5-second or a 5-minute walk. Be like, putting down everything, I'm going for a 5-minute walk. Or I'm going to do a little bit of breath work, or I'm going to write down a few things I'm grateful for. Whatever it is, whatever turns you on, let's change how you manage that stress. We can talk more about that later, I guess. But yeah.
It's a good one.
Yeah. But yeah.
It's a banger.
It's funny how that sort of ties in together. It's almost like we planned this. We actually didn't. We actually genuinely didn't.
The only thing we've
actually never planned any of these things that
no, we haven't.
that we bounce off.
Especially the speed runs. Speed runs are fucked.
Yeah.
Because we clash a lot.
Should we do one chess move, by the way?
Yeah, let's do it.
Do you think? Whose move is it?
I think it's you.
Okay.
I love that you said that. And I could not agree more. I think like with stress in general is that it's something that we just deal with, so we can't just abolish, just get rid of. And something we can do is that's fucked. Go for it, bro.
I love the difference between Spotify and YouTube.
Yeah. So typically when they say when a lot of clients in the past and they'll say like, oh, I just got to not do this thing anymore. And it may be like, emotionally, let's just say that for example. And they'll say, I'm just going to not do that anymore. And we've got to rely on like this willpower to say, I'm just going to deal with it until when shit hits the fan and again and again and again, our body only knows this one way to actually make us feel better, to make us feel a bit more relaxed. It was our coping mechanism. And even if you might be resilient for a little while, then you can only last so much. And then she hits the fan that one time and I'm just back on the fucking chockies on myself and I feel shit again. Whenever we take something out, there's a void there. We need to replace it with something of a similar stimulus.
You need to be aware of that.
100%.
Right.
100%.
But again, it's similar to the why, when we talk about the reason why we want the thing and all that sort of stuff that we fucking talk about all the time, there's going to be a massive resistance to you actually attacking that and you actually uncovering what's going on for you and uncovering what your triggers are and what your response to those triggers are, because you don't want to admit there's a problem. People, realistically, as a reflex, you're not going to want to admit there's a problem, or there's going to be so much resistance between you and admitting that. So get a fucking coach. Get a coach, or even talk to a psychologist, or if you can, just knuckle down and write some shit down and get fucking uncomfortable with it.
Yeah. I always say, like, I've definitely said this before on a podcast. What really hits home is zoom out and ask yourself if you want to stay here in 12 months' time. It makes you change everything because you're like, fuck no. And then you can bring it back a bit more. You can be like, oh, what about 6 months? No, fuck no, I don't want to do that anymore. Right, 3 months. No, 2 months, no, 1 month. Then why? Then why even now then?
Yes.
Make the fucking change. Like, do the thing. It is hard, it's tough, but you'll look back 12 months down the track or 6 months down the track, whatever it may be, at a time frame that you ideally would want to be, you'd be like, fuck yeah, I'm really glad I made those first steps.
Yeah. And also doing that frequently. So when
Correct.
you're zooming out, just do that as often as you can. Whenever you feel that, or even make a rule for yourself, or make a non-negotiable rule for yourself. Whenever I feel like doing the shit, I need to make sure I'm looking at myself in 12 months, being like, how am I going to feel about doing this now? How's that version of me going to feel about me doing this now? Me refusing to do what I say I'm going to do right now, you know, all that sort of shit. We fucking did pretty well.
Not bad.
Like, that's pretty, yeah.
All right.
You could even do one more move if you want.
Shit. Well, I already did my move.
This?
I'll put the king forward.
I moved this here.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Yeah. That'll be 2 moves each. That's pretty evens. I can do next one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. This is awkward.
Anyway, the chess game's going really well, guys. So if you have any pointers to improve our chess game, particularly if you're on Spotify, I would suggest you jump on YouTube because we've got a lot of pieces on the board. I reckon this is arguably the most pieces we've had on the board.
I could really use some help right now.
Really
use some help right now.
I use some help, yeah.
Oh, shit.
No, don't worry about that. Yeah. Oh, shit. Pretend that didn't happen.
I don't know what I just did, but I just did something.
There you go. Anyway, that's us. Training, nutrition, mindset. Danny Vlads with the wrap up. Let's go.
Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this new episode. Did you get something out from it? Did you have that little walkaway moment? You're like, fuck, I might use that. Oh, I didn't see it that way. We would love to hear your thoughts. If you're on YouTube, like and subscribe. It honestly means so much to support. We love doing this every single week. So if you have any questions, if there's something that you want to get off your chest and or want to learn something about that's specific to you, it may benefit someone else most of the time. So write it down, send it to us. We'd love to hear it. Same thing on Spotify. If you leave us 5 stars, you can put comments in there as well. And that's pretty much it. Every week, probably about 80%, 85% of the time, strike rate, you will see a new episode. So
you're always going to see something. There will always be something regardless.
Something.
Yeah.
And then we'll see you in the next episode. Look forward to the future. We've got some pretty cool stuff coming up, especially with some new guests coming up. Yes, the Kimmy one was awesome, and it's just gonna keep being awesome. So
you were gonna say get better.
It's not gonna get better. No.
Can't get better than Kim, but we do love Kim. Avid listener.
We love you. We'll see you next week.
Hell yeah. Bye guys.